Well, I don't want to start the trial yet. I want to talk to people. But whatever. So the main guy holds Sunry in high regard, but he does think the medal is conspicuous. Okay. Warden. That other guy's probably a witness.
Jolie, what are you doing here?
Elora sent me, Sunry. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case.
Just like old times, eh, Jolie? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire?
You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case.
The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence could see that. Or so I thought. But the cellcasts seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed. Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Elora there that night, but it's not what you think. I was working with Republic intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith. Well, I turned Elora into a double agent working for us. It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her and had her eliminated. But let's look at the facts they've given. Elora was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you! Further, they say they found my heroes cross at the crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Cellcat, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Guess you could interview witnesses at the hotel where the murder happened. The Cellcath already did that, but the fish folk don't have much rapport with offworlders. Maybe one of them was holding something back. But I think you'd be better off investigating the Sith themselves. Maybe you could find some proof they planted evidence to frame me. Though that might mean figuring out a way into the Sith embassy. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. How would they know? They weren't there. I heard some of the witnesses said that too, but I swear she was alive when I left. I wonder if the Sith have been putting pressure on people to get them to convict me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. They've had it in for me since the war. You should ask everyone about that. They might admit to helping the Sith under pressure. Very well. I suppose there is still much you must do before the trial. Once you've gotten enough evidence to go to trial, just tell the warden we're ready. The sooner I get out of the cell, the better.
I can click it. And there's a lot of information here.
When I get out of here, you're dead! I'll gut your fishy little corpse, cut off your head, and bathe in your blood!
Do I know you? Or was he yelling at the Cellcat? That's probably what it was.
I hear you've been appointed as arbiter in Sunry's trial. My husband is innocent. Please don't let him go to jail for a crime he didn't commit. Sunry is... he's a cripple. There's no way he could have overpowered this Sith woman like they claim.
That's true. I'd forgotten about that. Let's not forget that he would have to have been considerably older than the Sith woman.
That's true.
I'm a Jedi, and one who is living alone in the Shadowlands until recently. That keeps you in shape, damn it. We're talking about Sunry here.
And there's no way he would do something so dishonorable as hit her from behind. Sunry's a decorated war hero. He's a hero of the Republic. Find the real evidence. That's all I ask. The real evidence will prove Sunry didn't do this.
Well, shoot. Let's go here, then. This is very interesting. Also... Really? Alright. Oh, that's right.
What?
Got like a full page of notes here. Port official. Docking bay. I need to go over here. I need to get to the... oh no, the hotel. Where's the hotel? Is it in the docking bay? Maybe.
Got something on your mind? No, I never did I? Elusive? Me, elusive? Obviously, you've never tried to grab a Twi'lek dancing girl after drinking too much Onderan Willick juice. At any rate, I already told you why I wanted to leave. I'd seen everything I wanted to on Kashyyyk. Time to go. Time to move on. To bed! I'm old and tired, you know. How many kilometer-high trees can you find an interest in before you figure you've had enough? I'd bet you can't be bothered to stay in one room for more than 15 minutes. Then there's all the critters in the Shadowlands. I'm just happy to be back in space, doing something new. Is that too much to ask? There. Now, was that so hard? The old man has to be allowed some petty eccentricities. Nice to see you agree for once. I'll admit, for all its flaws, Kashyyyk was home enough. But when you came along and I saw the destiny you had before you, I couldn't help but be intrigued. Of course not. Weren't you listening last time? I can see that you have a destiny before you, but the details are far from clear. In fact, everything about you that I can see is odd. Slightly off, as if my eyes are trying to trick me. Something is very dark about you. But, I'm sure you don't need to hear my ruminations. You've probably got enough nosy Jedi offering you one opinion after another to make you sick. Your future will come of its own accord, trust me. Sometimes navel-gazing at it doesn't get you anywhere. I wouldn't worry about it too much if I were you. You remind me a bit of Nomi. That can be all bad. Nomi Sunrider. She came late to the Force, just as you have, and became one of the greatest Jedi ever. Oh, fine lass. Whether you'll follow the same path remains to be seen. For one thing, we'll never get anywhere if you stand around chatting up old men all day. Nonsense. If I ever refuse to help you when you ask, how confused can one person be anyway? One thing I will say is that this little escapade does remind me a bit of my adventuring days before the war. Those were exciting times. Or at least it would remind me of those times if we didn't stand around. What's keeping you? You're too young to be so talkative. Shoo! Shoo!
Okay. No, the hotel is not out here. That's way too far. Oop, nothing there. Never mind. That's the hotel. Okay. Hang a left.
You're the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want too. The Sith woman, Elora, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court. No way I'm lying to the court just because you want to get your Republic buddy off or whatever. I have no interest in going to prison. What do you want to know? Elora used to rent rooms here every week or so. Then Sunry would come by a couple hours later and stay all night. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on.
Interesting.
There were only 2 other people in the hotel when it happened. One was a Rhodian named Gluupor. Seems like a really dirty, shifty type. Normally I don't let his kind in here. I'm a reputable businessman, you know. But there weren't many people here, so I decided to take a chance. The other is a regular named Firith Me. He's a Pazak player. Probably an addict, but he claims he's big in some circles. Don't know anything about him other than that. Anything else you want to know? Well, okay. If you need anything else, I'm gonna be right here.
So he seems to think that they were cheating, or he was cheating on his wife with her. Firith Me.
Chiki kun selkat, Jona mulira ton Gluupor kinba no kun nek lorcha. Gluupor ton hit wanaji selkat agi inko tune Gluupor mulira, Chuna mulira, tonk Gluupor kitpa non kun nek sit abog. Gluupor chi ita kanki, chana kilikon. Gluupor nibo jimata, wipun nage. Tong abag sunsham u Gluupor ninong, Gluupor tong hit wamaji selkat ag inko tune, tong kinba no ku nikset abog. Gluupor picha ge borang turang, Gluupor wangki yuma bat malyaw no wish, Gluupor no una pangpa, mulira kong king. Gluupor chang waba chingo shang li chama ucha wish uyong kung Gluupor tong itwamachi Gluupor tong abag shang Gluupor non pitesa yun patisa Gluupor chiwi aita ka tong chicha Gluupor nibo jimata wipuna.
Okay, well that helps. Gluupor planted the metal.
Gluupor kakinja nawabagaon Uf mala nibo Gluupor jimata wipunage Gluupor ranka ja tong chi abag ja. Gluupor kachopa bogra shong kontak chi cha chawa wisku.
Well, that helps.
You with the cell, Kath? You here to see me about the murder, too? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you all want from me? Sunry, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel, too. Going to Alassa's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics usually.
Huh.
I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room, in private, is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think her Sith master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself.
Sith master? Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Oh, well, Elora was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Oh, fork it over, bro.
You know, I think I could trust you. Heck, I don't even know why I shouldn't tell you. Well, one time, I saw Elora coming in wearing this big cloak. I was on my way to my room, and she normally wears stuff like that, so I didn't pay her too much attention. But this time, I accidentally brushed up against her. Accidentally, of course. And her cloak fell open. Now, I don't have any qualms about the Sith. I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. And seeing as how Elora had a Sith lightsaber under her cloak, I'm not going to poke that hornet's nest.
Huh. Did not see that coming.
Seems so. But I'm not getting myself in any further with the Sith. I know how ruthless they are. Now, that's all I'm going to tell you. I'll testify it to the court, but you aren't going to get anything else out of me.
I could care less about those dark side points.
You again. Didn't I tell you people everything I knew? So why do you keep coming back to me? I was in my room, minding my own business with the latest copy of Pazak Weekly, checking out the listings for the big tournament that's going to be held here soon, when I heard a blaster shot. Being still alive, and therefore smart enough not to stick my head out immediately, I didn't go out right away. I looked out after a minute and saw Gluupor in the hall by Alassa's room, and Sunry running like the wind. You can't tell me that someone who was running like that, and he was pretty fast for a cripple, isn't guilty. Yes, well, I'll be right here. Not like they're letting me go anywhere else.
Interesting. I want to get into this room, but I don't want to, like, ruin anything. That was it? Well, now don't I feel stupid? Alright, I think I've got everything I need. Hello, who are you?
You, Jedi. I hear you are investigating the Sunry murder trial, are you not? This case is not at all what it appears to be. Many currents, might I say, flow beneath the surface. This murder is much more complicated than it may first appear. Sunry and Elora are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes?
No.
Dear. I'm saying they both had something to do with it. They've both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies. No, of course not. You think state secrets are for sale on the common market? You would have to be devious to get what you want. Heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this murder.
Interesting.
Have you managed to retrieve the data from our droid in the Sith base? Excellent. It does not appear to have been tampered with, so the Sith did not manage to copy its contents yet. And now for your information. We are not supposed to speak of this, but since you are a Jedi and we have exhausted all the other options, I think I can entrust you with this. As you know, the Republic is fighting for its very existence against the evil of the Sith Empire. As you also undoubtedly know, we're doing very poorly. We need much in the way of supplies and material to stem the tide of battle and bring us victory. Manan is the sole source of KotOR, the most powerful medical substance in the galaxy. Frankly, we need as much of it as we can get. The Selkath conservatives, with their neutrality treaties, seek to treat the Sith and the Republic equally. This includes KotOR exports, but a few more far-sighted Selkath see that if the Sith are ever allowed to win, the galaxy will be plunged into darkness, and there would be nothing to stop them from taking Manan anyway, so we made a deal.
Yeah, what kind of deal?
We recently began construction of a secret underground facility to harvest KotOR directly at its source. We also hope to one day be able to synthesize it effectively. Current techniques are insufficient for the task, so we must mine it for now. The amount we take would hardly be noticed, since most is lost naturally before it reaches the surface anyway. We were nearing completion of the base when the digging teams reported some sort of obstruction, an ancient building or artifact, possibly your star map. Transmissions from the base were cut off abruptly after that, and we haven't heard from the station since. As you may have noticed, we're hiring a lot of mercenaries around here. Ostensibly, they're to be shipped off-world to aid in our fight against the Sith, but they're really for another purpose. When we lost contact with the station in the Rackard Rift, we sent our contingent of Republic soldiers down to investigate. None returned. We've tried hiring mercenaries and sending them down as well, but none of those expeditions have returned either. The reason we really sent that droid underwater, and the reason we needed its data back so badly, was to find out what happened to the Rackard Rift station. But now that we have the data back, our operation is in no danger of exposure to the Sith. And now I must live up to my end of the bargain. I took the liberty of having a submarine prepared for your departure. Merely use this card to get past the door behind our KotOR packing room and enter the sub therein. It has been programmed to take you down to the station, and also to take you back up should you need something. I would send soldiers to assist you, but we've lost many of ours, and nearly exhausted the mercenary population of this planet. The soldiers we have are barely enough to keep this base secure. The Sith have also noted our interest and begun to bribe mercenaries away from us. Please, find out what happened to the facility. There may be some survivors left down there. Perhaps even the head scientist, Kono Nolan. Good luck in your efforts.
Well, I have other questions, actually.
When you are ready to explore the Rackard Rift, enter the Republic base. In the KotOR packing room, there is a door leading to the Republic submarines. The sub will have a course to the Rackard Scientific Research Facility charted in. It will take you to the Rackard Rift. I wish you luck on your quest. Hopefully, a Jedi can succeed where so many others have failed.
Well, shoot.
I'm sorry, I'm on duty, citizen. Please refer any questions to our diplomatic corps. Thank you.
If you got a problem, go talk to our diplomatic representative. Don't bother me with it.
Oh, 100 spikes. The computer screen switches to a fisheye view from some sort of small surveillance window. A beautiful young woman enters the room. He softly closes the door, pulls a blaster, and shoots her in the back. The hell? Okay, hold on. So that video is important because it is either completely...
And you need...
Sure.
It is either completely going to prove that he is guilty, or it's somebody else and not actually Sunry, but made up to look like Sunry so that he's found guilty. What's going on over here?
Those Sith are always trying to goad us. Why don't the Cellcats stop them?
Do you know anything about this?
Kon huli slimo po iwanga kun Kiska nichu Kinba muli ratwana ji Laboda na winki smaktoma Kiska da soki kupa bona na chachu Ubabat.
Okay, so he's a Pazak card salesman. Interesting. Sith base. No longer being guarded. Which is good, because now I can break in. Can I just walk in? Yes.